Hello everybody and welcome to No Guns Life Season 2 episode, whatever episode it is, I haven't wrote it down. Quite frankly, I don't, 16 overall? 4. Season 2 episode 4, 16 overall I think is where we're at. Yeah, it was an alright episode, you know, we sort of wrapped up this we wrapped up this little mini Victor arc, sort of. I mean, he's not been found yet, but hey, it seems we're moving on to the Spitsbergen stuff, it seems like at the end of the episode we're moving to. So that should be exciting. Really want to know more about what's going on with Tetsuro and them. Although, it seems a lot simpler than we may think. But anyway, let's get on with the episode. See how everything cracked out, went down, whatever you want to say. Let's do this. We begin with Blue Girl showing up at the house. The house, we'll call it the house. It's not a house at all, but that's what we'll call it. Blue Girl, whose name is Olivier. I wrote it down. I remembered. I didn't remember they said it this week, and I wrote it down. So, we learning stuff. She shows up, but that is far from the main event. If you forgot what happened last week, I should probably say this, by the way. Sorry I'm so late with this episode. I've had a hectic few days, or half a week, whatever you want to call it. So everything's late. So, sorry about that, but it's here now. So yeah, the bad guy turned. The EMS guy he's being a dick basically. Is the short of it. He's a douche. His name is EMS douche in my notes because I didn't write down his actual name because he's a douche, and you don't write down douches' names. That's just kind of how it works. He finds this case thing that has a. He's like, oh, this is weird. And then a remote body comes down of Victor. It's another Victor. Sort of implying that this isn't good Victor. This is bad Victor, but he's also being good at this point. So, okay. It's a little bit hard to keep track of all what's going on in the Victorverse. Spider Victor into the Victorverse is where we're at. Threatens Mary a bit, this asshole does. He's a right dick. He hates dealing with extends because this, that, and the other thing. He's an asshole. I don't need to spell that out for you. Then Juzo shows up. He's got no arms. That's not good. This douchebag, he's got a sensor type extend, which basically means he can dodge. It makes him dodge quick. So that's... Well, he doesn't dodge quick, but it lets him sense things to make him dodge easier. So that's less than good for the good guys. I think we will all agree. He shoots Mary in the foot. Like, what the hell, dude? You didn't need to do that. That's not how you... I guess that is how you negotiate. But come on, man. What did she do? She's innocent. Are you maybe a good guy? I think No Guns Life is like, no one is good, everyone is bad. Except Juzo and friends. They're good. Everyone else, they're bad, though. It's basically where we're at. And he says, I'm going to kill this bitch if you don't lead me to your real body, other Victor, and that's not good. Juzo gets all angry, of course he does. Angry Juzo unleashes his what do you call it? The back thing, the Kagane, he unleashes that. It's not actually that, obviously, and everything. But he's going against the program, he's doing the program voice is speaking, but then he's speaking over it, but he's saying the same things, so... Is he going against it, or is he just trying to control... I guess he's trying to control it himself as opposed to being controlled by the program, which is quite interesting. He doesn't quite succeed, though, because there's a smoke bomb. Victor helps him out, which is helpful. Gives him some new arms, and they defeat the EMS guy by flicking at his forehead. And I didn't notice this until I was getting clips for the video. They made a dent in his forehead. Like an actual... there's a hole there. That's got to beyond hurt. That's probably brain damage. I just want to point that out. So, does the guy deserve it? Absolutely. I'm not disputing that. So, good on you, Juzo and Victor, basically. Victor then is like, he basically saved him because he would have gone berserk if he'd just let him do what he was doing. So, that's not good. And then Juzo is like, alright, I'm going to take this guy out and deal with the other dudes. You two, have fun, kids, basically. Not like that. Not like that, you dirty people. What are you thinking? Mary asks Victor what happened between him and the old man. And basically, the old man was also a douche, is what we find out. So the old man was going to sell Mary's body. Yes, That's what it's prostitution, right? Of a small child. And Victor was like, no, you're not, and then he killed him. Fair enough. I say fair enough on Victor for that one. You know, I don't think anyone can blame him for doing that. Although he did say he blacked out and then he was dead. So, who knows? Maybe he was being controlled by Tetsuro. Probably not, because he was a human at this point. Maybe he was being controlled by human controlling harm. I'm just making things up now. It's probably not what it was in the slightest, but it would be an interesting twist, that's for sure. It was probably just anger. I mean, the how he killed him is the more interesting part. Like, how did he manage to overpower that big old man? I mean, yeah, he's old. Like, you could just kneecap him. He's got no kneecaps. But I don't think that's exactly how it went down. Yeah, he left Mary behind to pursue extension technology because he loves extension technology and wants it to help people, as we know, and everything. He's past the point of new return. He's a copy of Victor. He's not actually Victor, though, Mary says, because he's not realized one very important thing, and that is the thing I'm about to read directly from my notes, because it's a lot of words and it's kind of not ambiguous. One day, Mary realized that even if they lose something, they could use something else to support what is left. So basically, it's like if you lose an arm, you lose a leg, and then you're like, oh, I can't walk anymore, but the rest of you's still there, and then your friend comes and helps you walk. That's the metaphor I'm going with. That's a nice metaphor, honestly. I think, anyway. Engineers and extends can just give them a small push forward, as they said. Basically, people rock is what they're saying, which I agree with. People do rock sometimes. Real Victor understood the same thing she was talking about, which is why this guy ain't the real Victor. He doesn't get it. He's a fake Victor, or not a fake, but he's like a not up to date. He's like, you got real Victor over here, and this is like previous save point. Like, he's not quite reached the same level as real Victor, I guess is what I'm saying. And then she's like, I can understand extends by looking at their faces, and she's got this great pose. And I'm like, that's just a manga panel. Like, you know, there's some scenes that you can just look at and be like, that's a panel right there. I can see that right now, and that was what that was. Olivier finds Juzo, who has just beaten the snot out of like all the EMS dudes and is having a smoke, as you do. But she's here for the douche. Douche gets demoted, and then he's in trouble. So douche gets what he deserves. I think you will agree with me when I say that. Mary changed Victor's arm so he can't do bad things anymore. Not quite sure how, and why he let her, first of all. But I guess fair enough. He says she asks about the hostages briefly, and he says, to be honest, they're better off at Spitsbergen, you know, because obviously Tetsuro. Well, more on Tetsuro later. So that happens, and then he leaves, and he's parting breath, I guess, is like, you're a more respectable engineer than me now, and he's like, I'm out. Yeet. Why did I say yeet? God, I never say yeet. I feel like one of them young'uns. I'm 21. I'm not an old man yet, even if I feel it occasionally. But no, then he goes off to the wilderness, never to be seen again until the ending montage, I assume. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm assuming. Back at the house, there's no urgency in dealing with the hostages. Mary is just trying to take apart Lefty just for the lols, basically. But Juzo, thankfully he's thinking, he's like, I've got a plan to save the hostages. We don't get to hear what that plan is, because then we go to Tetsuro, and Tetsuro's bit is really interesting. I think you will agree. So, Tetsuro has his own voice back, like his regular voice, not his voice box voice. That's a thing. That was crazy. I was like, whoa, his mouth's actually moving. What? Insanity. And then there's this professor guy who was one of the creators of the extension technology. So that's kind of interesting. Why is he working with Spitsbergen, the most anti-extend, group imaginable? That's also an interesting thing. That's what I'm saying, yeah. Figgy can't figure that out either. Tetsuro's like, why is he helping him? Doesn't make sense, does it? But it probably does, but we just don't know it yet. They want Juzo to eliminate the other Gunslave unit, because it's causing a lot of trouble for them. The other Gunslave unit 7, who... God, he's the one in the red coat, I think. The one in the ending, the really weird ending credit sequence. Every time I watch it, I'm like, what is this? This is so weird. But yeah, so to become, for a gunslave unit to become powerful, they need to become a tool. So basically, Juzo has too much free will to be powerful, is sort of what they're saying. So they need him to become a tool so he can defeat Seven, because otherwise he doesn't stand a chance defeating Mr. Seven. They want but also what they actually want. They want Tetsuro to use Harmony on Juzo to pull out his true form. So, to like make him more powerful, obviously. And then if he complies, everybody will be safe. He's like, man, I'd see your family. It would be a shame if anything were to happen to them. And it's like, why are you a dick? Why is everyone a dick? Why are they just, why are there like no good people? It's like, Juzo and friends, and then Olivier's alright. Like everyone else, terrible human being. is basically where we're at now. Like, can we just get some good people, please? Is that too much to ask? It might be too much to ask. But yeah, that was where we ended the episode. I presume we're gonna go into a Spitsbergen sort of arc. We're gonna get Juzo versus not Pepper. Is Pepper the girl's name? I can't remember. There was definitely someone called Pepper. I think that was the like master's name. But yeah, Juzo versus Seven is what I meant at some point. I presume we're going to go down the formula of he's defeated the first time, but he escapes, and then he gets stronger, and he beats him, and that'll be the finale. Maybe. I think I've seen enough anime to know how this goes. But yeah, good. I thought it was an alright finale to this mini arc, I guess. My favourite part of the episode. It was quite easy this time. I thought about the Tetsuro stuff just because it was nice to have a little bit more on that. But really, it has to be the Juzo finger flick, doesn't it? It's so good. Dents his head, as I said. Yeah, just a good. Good he's got arms back, because I was really wondering what the hell they were going to do. Were they going to go the rest of the series without having any arms? Like, that doesn't seem like an easy thing to do, but luckily, he got arms back. Hopefully he doesn't lose them anymore. That would kind of suck. But anyway, let's wrap this shindig up. Thank you, everybody, for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. I will see you, I was going to say next week. It's not next week at this point. Thursday or Friday. One of those days is when this is coming out. Or, you know, next week. The proper. I won't be late this time is what I'm trying to say. Hopefully with a bit of luck. Anyway, see you then. Take care. And bye, guys.